Christian Counsel by Fenelon. 29. Interested and disinterested love have each its appropriate season. Why do the gifts of God confer more pleasure when they exist in ourselves than when they are conferred upon our neighbor if we are not attached to self? If we prefer to see them in our possession rather than in that of those about us, we shall certainly be afflicted when we see them more perfect in them than they are in ourselves. And this constitutes envy. What is our duty then? We must rejoice that the will of God is done in us and that it reigns there not for our happiness and perfection, but for His good pleasure and glory. Now, taking notice of two matters. The first is that this distinction is not empty subtlety. For God, in His desire to desolate the soul for its own perfection, causes it ready to pass through with the trials of self, and never let it alone until He has deprived its love selfish reflection and support. There's nothing so jealous, so exacting, and so searching as this principle of pure love. It cannot abide a certain thing that were imperceptible in our previous state, and what pious persons would call an unprofitable nicety seems an essential point to the soul that is desirous for destroying itself. As was good in the furnace, the fire consumes all that is not good, so it seems necessary that the heart should be melted with fervent hate, and that the love of God may be rendered pure. The second remark is that God does not pursue every soul in this way in the present life. There is an infinite number of truly pious persons whom He leaves in some degree under the dominion of self-love. These remains of self help to support them in the practice of virtue and serve to purify them to a certain point. Scarce anything would be more injudicious or more dangerous than to deprive them of the contemplation of the grace of God in them as tending to their own personal perfection. The first class exercise disinterested gratitude. They are thankful to God for whatever He does in them, solely because He does it for His own glory. The second are also grateful, but partly because their own perfection is secured at the same time. If the former should endeavor to deprive the latter of this mixed motive and this interior comfort in self, in reference to grace, it would cause them as much injury as they would an infant by weaning it before it was able to eat. To take away the breast would be to destroy it. We must never seek to deprive a soul of the food which still contains nutriment for it, and which God suffers to remain as stay to its weakness, to forestall grace to destroy it. Neither must the latter condemn the former, because they do not see them as much concerned as themselves about their own perfection in the grace ministered unto them. God works in every one as He pleases. The wind blows where it lists. John 3:8, as it lists, and as it lists. I think is where it goes, basically. Okay. The forgetfulness of a self in the pure contemplation God is a state in which God can do in our souls whatever most pleases himself. The important point is that those who are still in a measure supported by self should not be too anxious about the state of such as are in pure love, nor should this lantern endeavor to make the former pass through the trials peculiar to a higher state of grace before God calls them to it.